Xbox Velocity Architecture, PS5 Controller, and your daily gaming news recap. All that and more coming right up. I'm on camera. Welcome back to Sodi Pop here on YouTube. Today is Wednesday, July 15th. I'm Matty, and this is Chatty with Matty, your source for the daily gaming news recap. If you're looking for any particular stories, I do timestamp everything down below, so be sure to check that out. I have my drink. Let's get started. All right, to start with, we have the Series X architecture. Microsoft went ahead and released a nice flashy trailer showing off the architecture. You know, Sony has really touted their architecture. Well, more so, I guess, Epic and Mark Cerny has touted Sony's architecture and how unique it is and how fast it is. Well, this is Microsoft's little response to that. So we have their NVMe SSD 40 times faster than the Xbox One, than the previous generation. And for me, I think that quickness is really going to be the difference between previous gen and next gen. They say when upgrading your computer, the first thing you should do is put in SSD, because that is going to eliminate, well, greatly reduce boot times and such like that. So I'm super excited to see no loading and super quick actual fast travel between levels. So Xbox released this yesterday, and I thought that was cool, but we always want to compare, because you're probably deciding, should I purchase an Xbox, should I get a PS5? Compare that with the PS5. So again, remember the 40 times faster than Xbox One. I'm assuming Xbox One and the PS4, the regular versions of each, are both very similar as far as speed, because they're both using a hard disk drive. So they're going to be very similar as far as the quickness of the console. PS5, again, it is touted a much faster SSD, 2 times as fast as what the Series X is. And in reality, what you're going to get from that is about 100 times faster than it was in the previous generation in the PS4. So Xbox Series X saying 40 times faster than the previous generation. Sony with the PS5 saying 100 times faster. Again, will the end user, will you and I really notice that when it comes down to actually playing the games? Is it going to be a percent or two, a second or two quicker? Or will it be the difference between like a big hitch in moving? Will kind of like if you're using an old phone and it just hitch and glitches and it just doesn't feel good, is that going to be the difference? We'll see. We'll also see if maybe the more powerful GPU in the Xbox Series X makes a difference as opposed to the slightly less powerful one that we're seeing in the PS5. Will that much more graphics make a difference? May or may not. You know, maybe some ray tracing reflections, maybe some FPS. You know, that seems to be mainly down to the CPU is FPS, but we'll see. Very curious. Really, they just need to release their dang prices. I'm excited for that. Remember, Ghost of Tsushima and Paper Mario are releasing this Friday. We have started to see reviews come out for both games. Ghost of Tsushima sitting at an 84 Metacritic and Paper Mario sitting in at 81. Both really great scores. Paper Mario obviously has a lot less reviews with 44, and I think Ghost of Tsushima has like 80 something, yeah, 89. People overall seem to like these games quite a bit. I'm definitely going to be picking them up. Again, as I did report on Monday, you can get these for $10 off each, so for $50 at Walmart in store. Go ahead, there's a GameSpot article that detailed this. I'll link it down below, but you can get them for $50 each in store at Walmart, and I think you have to look up Brick Breaker just to make sure your particular Walmart is supporting that sale. And if you haven't yet, please like, follow, comment down below, subscribe, click the bell for new video alerts if you like this content. Of course, share it with friends, family, acquaintances, whoever you might think help this channel grow. I really appreciate it, and I want to keep on doing this amazing fun stuff for you too as well. Some great news. So Facebook and Sony are upping their production of gaming devices. So Facebook, of course, owners of Oculus and Oculus Rift. This is from the K-Asian Review. Facebook's Oculus, the global leading provider of virtual reality headsets by market share, is eyeing growth of at least 50% from a year ago for its latest version of head-mounted VR devices, pushing production to 2 million units, sources said. Quote, meanwhile, Sony, the world's #2 video game console maker behind Nintendo by shipments has also raised production orders for its upcoming PlayStation 5 to around 9 million units. That's awesome. From the roughly 6 million units it had planned in spring. Sources familiar with the matter said, the PlayStation 5 is the first completely new generation of the console in 7 years after the Japanese company launched the PS4 in 2013 and an upgrade in 2016. That is great to hear. I know a lot of people nervous that they weren't going to be able to get the PS5. I'm assuming both the PS5 and Xbox will sell out rather quickly of the initial shipments, and then we will see down the road how popular these consoles are a year or two from now and how well they sell from month to month. I'm just glad there's more, and hopefully you shouldn't have an issue if you want to pre-order a PS5 yourself. That is great news. And then again, just in game sales, we've seen Nintendo obviously kill it this year. They cannot keep the Switch and the Switch Lite in stock. Animal Crossing, really anything stay-at-home related, is just doing super well. So obviously Sony, and by extension Facebook, are seeing that and saying, hey, we can up production. They originally had limited production, at least Sony did, I think citing the virus for different world shipment demands, and also being scared that maybe people were going to hold back because the economy is collapsing in many different ways. But as we've seen, anything that's stay-at-home related, again, YouTube is taking off. They've seen more viewership than ever. We are just seeing a massive boom in. So I'm excited. I'm glad that you and I have an actual chance to get the PS5. Exciting news for Nintendo. So fans, is coming from VGC, from Andy Robinson. Fans uncover Super Mario Anniversary Twitter account potentially linked to Nintendo. So, fans have uncovered a social media account potentially registered by Nintendo in preparation for Super Bros 35th anniversary plans. As noted by VGC reader Julio Rodrigo, the Super Mario 35th account was registered earlier this year and has a recovery email that could use the nintendo.co.jp domain. However, it is worth noting that the account's March registration date lines up with the publication of VGC Mario Remastered report, and since the related email is mostly redacted, it's not certain it's Nintendo Japanese domain. So really awesome news. Again, we have been hearing a lot about Nintendo's possible plans. Of course, we're seeing Paper Mario release. We haven't heard anything from Nintendo as far as big stuff coming for the rest of 2020. The rumor is that we're going to be seeing a remake or a re-release of Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. That would be phenomenal. I, for one, would love to see a remake of Mario 64, especially if you include all the different stuff that we saw from the actual handheld version of Mario 64, so playing as Yoshi and all the added stars and everything. That would be super cool. I'm really excited for that. That would be on par to me with some of the biggest game releases of this next couple of years, so Horizon or Ratchet and Clank or Halo. I would love to see a remake of those Mario games. Really overdue, I would say. Overwatch Grand Championships or League Grand Finales will be coming and actually played online. So Blizzard details its plans for remote playoff tournament from Andrew Webster on The Verge. We'll see here, essentially, at the conclusion of the regular season, all 20 teams will face off in a playoff-style tournament kicking off on September 3rd, with seeding based on how they perform during the year. The format will be similar to the tournament structure of the league adopted midway through 2020, with two competitions, one for teams based in Asia and another for North America. The top two teams from each of those tournaments will then face off in a double elimination competition culminating in the championship match. They have here, you can check out the full details on the league's website. So go ahead and check that out. I might go ahead and check it out as well. I've never been to an in-person event as far as the Overwatch. I used to play Overwatch quite a bit, but I haven't recently. Really fun game, I thought it was. Also over here on Twitter, we see Positively Mafia Real Milky Way. It says Epic Games confirms that Hellblade 2's trailer was running in real time. Remember, Hellblade 2 is going to be on the Unreal Engine 5, so I don't expect that to be out for quite a while. Again, I thought that being in the Xbox trailer and one of their first ones, that we might see it a lot sooner, but knowing that it's Unreal Engine 5, which Unreal Engine 5 isn't officially out till 2021, I'm assuming it's going to be maybe at least a year or two off, but we will see. That's amazing. They do have really detailed character models, but there wasn't too much going on in that actual trailer. It's just nice to see that we have that much detail. Also, we have another look at the PS5 controller, this coming from a Godfall developer. Remember quite a while ago, probably a couple 3 weeks ago, when the PS5 was officially announced, Jeff Keighley sat down with a Godfall developer and talked about Godfall and how he felt about the controller. This is just some more insight into that. Remember, we saw the Bugsnax developer talking about the controller, of course the Godfall developer, which I reported a few weeks ago. This is just some more information about the PS5 controller. We have not seen it yet. It seems like reporters and such have not gotten their hands on it yet, so any little inkling, because this is a different controller, it's something different. Xbox is pretty much using the same thing. They have a really nice controller. Will the triggers, the adaptive triggers, will the rumble make any difference? Well, this is coming from the developer. Quote, "What's exciting about DualSense controller is the fact that it has stereo vibration in terms of the rumblers, as well as resistance on the triggers. So one of the things that you can do is to create for the first time a sensation of your weapon hitting another weapon and how it resonates," Lee explained. "The fact that you're sliding across the ground depending on the surface of the material, you might slide on gravel, sand, or water, the way the vibrations work really feel like the way those surfaces would feel. So it's a lot more powerful in terms of creating the experience for us, a 3D melee combat game. This becomes really exciting because we have lots of different types of weapons. We can have a clash of weapons, and there could be ways that we can notify the player if an enemy is off screen about to attack you, because it's always very challenging to get the full awareness of your surroundings in a third-person melee combat game." So again, to fill in a little bit about what he's saying here, from what he said to Jeff Keighley, he said you can actually tell where the arrows are coming from. So again, the stereo rumble, you can actually tell if the arrows came from behind you or zoomed across your head. It goes from one side of the controller to the other. That's what he was talking about as far as rumble and location of enemies, which sounds phenomenal, sounds so cool. And again, we had Austin Wintory and Austin Wintory talking to another developer, and they're talking about how you can feel raindrops and the localization of raindrops on the actual controller. Again, I go back to the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons, how they talked about rumble and how revolutionary it was, and really it just wasn't revolutionary. It was nice to feel, and that was about it. I'm hoping this is something much more powerful and can add to the game that much more. It shouldn't be distracting from the game, just additive, get you in the world that much more. It's not going to be a game changer, but just something that's really nice feature to have. Also, we had PES, so Pro Evolution Soccer coming. There's Messi in all his glory. Go ahead and check that out coming up. And then if you haven't yet, Unreal actually went through the coming up of Unreal Fest Online of 2020. So they talk about the next Unreal Engine 4 version and then Unreal Engine 5 and beyond. Looks really exciting. It's about almost an hour, 45 minutes or so. They talk a lot about that. And I noticed right here, Fortnite will be shipping on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Of course, Fortnite, old game. Of course, they want to ship it as soon as possible, but it's cool that you'll be able to play a free-to-play game right away on the Xbox Series X and PS5. So think of that what you will. Well, thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Again, I'm Matty, and this has been Chatty with Matty, your source for the daily gaming news recap. If you haven't yet, please follow me on the 3Ts and IG, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram at SodiPopMedia. I'm in the middle of packing and moving right now, so there's really boxes all around me that you can't see. So a lot of stuff going on. I will probably have my last video come up on the 23rd. We're going to talk about the Xbox. I'm not sure what that's going to look like because that is knee deep and moving right there. And then I have a few more things coming for you. I will be in a completely new space with hopefully a lot more flexibility as far as schedule, so I won't annoy my wonderful girlfriend and her work schedule. Well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Remember,
Be yourself
and eat a cookie. Bye.